Hey guys, and welcome back, or welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before, and if you haven't been here before, subscribe to be part of the bilingual family, which is mostly me attempting to speak English. So in today's video we are going to do a shop my stash, which basically means that I'm just going to rummage into my existing makeup collection right now and pick out some products that I want to use to create a look today. And this is the look that we created, and I have never been so excited at the end of a look. I feel really pretty. I love the combination of fire and ice, and we also use a new blush today in my makeup collection, and it's a real banger. I'm just gonna give you a spoiler. It's from Patrick Ta, so I would keep on watching if I was you. And yeah, let's go through my makeup collection first and see what we're gonna pick out. I obviously already know, but you don't, so let's go. Okay, so this is all of the makeup. I have collected it on my little desk that I use to kind of, you know, film videos. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this off my table, and then we're gonna pick some products that I want to use today. To be honest, I have absolutely no clue what kind of look that I want to do today, or like what makeup I want to use, which tones, which shades, which textures. I don't know. Okay, so these are my palettes. I'm just gonna take a look and set aside the palettes that I maybe want to use today, and then we can do a further selection from that point of view. So these are the palettes that I found in my collection that maybe I want to use today. We have the Juvia's Place Magique palette, which is basically like a colorful palette. This one is just one that I use all the time because it has these like individual Glamshop shadows. I just like to use these as toppers on basically any kind of eyeshadow look that I use. And then we have two Nabla palettes. And when I did my eyeshadow collection video, which was like my previous video, if you want to watch that, I was kind of interested in these two palettes. So this one right here, the 6-pan palette, is a Cutie analog palette, and I just love the shade right here. I haven't used this one in a long time. This is their first ever palette, the Dreamy palette, and I remember just absolutely being so in love with this palette. So I do think I'm going to use this one today because it's just been so long, and I think we're going to go for like a dark smoky peach. So that means that I'm going to use those two palettes, but I'm not going to use the Magique palette. We're not going to use this one today, but maybe in a different like shop my stash. Then I'm going to move on to some special eye stuff since we are in like the eyeshadow category, but I think there isn't really anything in here that I'm going to use today. I have, oh maybe, wait. This e.l.f. No Budge cream eyeshadow is like a really nice peachy pink color. This is the color Canyon, and I think it would be a really nice base for like those Nabla palettes, so I think I'm also going to use this one. And then other than that, I don't really have anything in here that I think I'm going to use. Okay, and then we're going to move on to base products. These are foundations, primers, and any kind of situation like that. So I think today I am going to use this matte primer. This is the Honest Beauty matte primer. I am working on this to kind of empty it and get it out of my collection. And also I am going to use like a sunscreen as a base, and I think that one will be quite hydrating and maybe a little bit too greasy for on camera, so it's nice to balance it out with this one. And then for foundations, I have quite a few, so I'm not sure which one I want to use. I think for a foundation today, I am going to use the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation, kind of in honor of her celebrating or launching her new collection, which includes eyeshadow palettes. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to pick up an eyeshadow palette because it's like 59 euros, but yeah, this is, I think, the situation that we're going to use today. It's a really nice foundation, I feel. For concealer, I'm just going to grab one that I think will match that shade quite nicely. So I think I am going to go with my Vive Modern Radiance concealer. Next up, we have my favorite part of makeup. We have blush. These are all of my blushes and they look lovely, but this is gonna take a while. Oh, you know what? I actually think I already made my decision. This is my new Patrick Ta blush, and this is the shade She's Blushing. I picked this up recently, but I haven't come around to showing it to you on camera or doing like a review on my blog. I am in the middle of writing my blog post, like my entire review on this blush. But yeah, I think I'm gonna use this one because I think it will match the look very, very nicely. Then for bronzer, again, we have a couple of options, but I think I want to make it something not too bronzy, to be honest. I want to keep it quite blush focused, so I think I'm gonna pick a bronzer that is a little bit more neutral. And when I say that, I think of my M Cosmetics one, my M Cosmetics cream bronzer. This is the shade Summer. Or we are going to go with an oldie but a very goodie. This is my Fenty Beauty In the Sun Sunstalker Instant Warm Bronzer. I mean, this was a favorite for a very long time, and I think this is quite like yellowy neutral. I think I'm gonna go with this one because it doesn't have too much warmth but still enough to kind of bronze my face. But do I want to add a cream bronzer underneath? The answer is yes. Then for highlighter, we have a few options but not too many, but immediately I am very drawn to my favorites. The Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow and my Vive Skin Dew. But because I haven't really used my new one, this is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter, I think I'm gonna use this one. The only thing that's kind of stopping me from using this is that it really does have a tint and it's not as translucent as some of the other like highlighters in my collection, so it might tone down that blush that I'm gonna use. But what I think I'm gonna do is apply the highlighter first and then the blush, and then it will work out. For powder, these are my two powders. Oh yeah, my Project Pen products are not included in this video because I basically use them daily, but I think I'm gonna go with just a combo of these two because I love the combination of these two powders together. Now we have some more eye stuff in this little container. It's not too much, but it's something that I think is worth looking into. I think the only thing that I'm gonna get out of here is my Catrice brow powder set to use later on, and also the Rare Beauty mascara. I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty mascara today. And then finally we have lips. I'm not entirely sure yet how I'm gonna go. I feel like a lip color is very important to a look, so I feel like I should probably wait until my eyes and base is done to really get a complementary like lipstick shade. I am going to await the entire makeup look and then come back and choose my lipstick and my lip liner. So this is all of the makeup that I have decided to put on my face today. So we're going for peachy pinks. So now we're gonna put this on my face. Woohoo! I'm so excited actually. This is probably, like, I have some old stuff in here, which is really exciting. Very excited about the new blush. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we picked all of the makeup. I have prepped my skin, as you can see, because it is very, very red right now, which is basically because I like applied sunscreen, and then because of the rubbing, my face gets really red. I am also dealing with a little bit of a breakout situation right here, which is entirely hormonal, as far as I am aware, at least. I am going to take away a little bit of shine first in the center of my face and also on my forehead, because we're gonna go in first with the Honest Beauty Matte Primer. Like I said before, this is a product that I am trying to get rid of in my collection just because I have a dry skin type and we're heading into winter, and to be quite frank with you, matte primers aren't really my thing. Yeah, that is just kind of the only area of my face where I don't like to have some of that shine, and that reminds me that I have to put away these bangs. So that is just like the primer in the center of my face, nothing too much, not completely on the entire face because we still have a little bit of product on the cheekbones. I'm like all over the place today. Anyway, moving on to the rest of the base makeup, we have the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation and the Vive Modern Radiance concealer. I love the packaging of this. Lisa Eldridge just released her eyeshadow palettes, and I don't know where I mentioned it. Where did I mention it? That I was going to probably, but I wasn't sure yet, like purchase one of her eyeshadow palettes, and I did. So that means that in the coming weeks you will be seeing a review of that palette. All of that being said, this is the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation, and this is the shade 3. 2 pumps on the back of my hand, and just do what I usually do, which is apply it, spread it out, and then blend it out further with a sponge. I am dealing with quite a bit of stress of like the entire home, well, not home, but like just a lot of developments, I guess, that you go through when you're 20, in your 20s, 20 or 20? I am 23, yeah. Anyway, that was a TikTok thing, but yeah, I'm going through a lot of like developments that you usually go through in your 20s, which is like graduating and searching or looking for a job. And the looking for a job has got me so stressed, but it's doing something to my skin. So next up is the Vive Modern Radiance Concealer, and this is the shade Light 1. I think I'm just gonna apply a tiny bit right here and right here. By the way, I am trying something new with the lighting today, and we'll see how that goes. Can you, if you want to, obviously, watch like a previous video of mine and tell you which like lighting you like better, just so I know. Also, back to slightly lighter things. The palette that I bought from Lisa Eldridge is like Vega, which is kind of more like the Smokey palette of the 6. I was just thinking about like palettes that I would wear. Quite pricey, it's like 59 euros, which is a lot for like a £6 palette, to be honest. So I was thinking about the palette that I was going to actually wear in my videos, but also like on the daily, like shades that I would be able to wear on the daily. And I found Vega to be like the more perfect palette for that. Next up, we're gonna go in with my powders. So like you saw before, I decided to go with the 2 powders that are currently not in my project pan because they're already project panned, and I also only have 3 powders, so I'm gonna combine these 2. This is the Kosas Cloud Set and the Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. The combination of these 2 together is like magnificent. I love it so much. What I basically do is I pick up a little bit of the Essence one, which is kind of powdery, and then I tap off the excess in like the cap of the Kosas one, and then I go into the Kosas one, and then I kind of mix them together, and then I go underneath the eyes. I'm so excited to use that Patrick Ta blush. I always say next up, next up, next up, like I don't have anything else to say. Next up, we're gonna use the Fenty Beauty Instant Worn Bronzer in the shade In the Sun. They're like powder bronzers. Take some product, a very well loved product for a while, as you can see. This is a very light bronzer, but a very pretty one and very easy to build up. I love this during the winter. It's just I guess the shade is just very perfect for like my complexion, very fair and not too orange, which is something that sometimes you can have in a bronzer. Finally, we're going to use the blush, the new blush. I'm so excited about this. So this is a Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade She's Blushing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the powder blush first and then the cream, because that is actually how they recommend applying this, and we're just gonna apply this. Now I do want to mention that I have already used this blush, and like my full review is coming on my blog, but it's needless to say that this is a beautiful blush and I really like it. And also it's like a very nice everyday blush, but also a very good blush if you are going to a more special event or gathering with friends and family, for example. And then with a slightly more dense brush, I am going to take that cream, not too much, and tap off or wipe off the excess on the back of my hand, and then just go over that. Like I said before, it's gonna be a blushy look. So that's the blush. I mean, look at it, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh. Remember how I said that I was going to apply this first and then the blush, and now here we are and I didn't do it. Okay, anyway, the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter Glow Booster for Radiant Skin. This is the shade 1 Fair. This is a very hype product. I like it. I like other glow boosters more. I like the Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow one a lot more than this. It just has something kind of odd in like the finish of it. I find it to be a little bit too metallic, I think, for for my taste anyway. So I have a little bit of it on the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna use my sponge. Or maybe it's just also like the tint that doesn't really give me that glowy effect, because it's maybe a little bit too dark for my complexion or too close to my actual skin tone. I feel like it's also quite texturizing, and that is something that my other ones that I love more don't really do. So I did my brows really quickly just with like a brow gel, and then also with the Catrice Brow Powder Set Waterproof. Forgot about this for a second. Yeah, so this is the Cosmetics So Soft Bronzer in the shade Summer. I will be using this in a different Shop My Stash because apparently I did forget about it today. Okay, anyway, we're gonna continue with the eyes. So I have these two Nabla palettes, as you can see, but we're gonna start off with the e.l.f. No Budge Cream Eyeshadow in the shade Canyon. And I'm basically going to put this all over the lid. Just taking a little bit on a brush and then blending it out all over the lid to give it just like an even base and a little bit of tackiness as well. Love, 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 love. Okay, then I'm gonna go into the Nabla Dreamy Eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to take the shade Sistine, and we're just gonna put that into the crease for a little bit of more like definition. It's slightly darker than the other shade. And then with a slightly denser brush, I'm going to take the shade, what is this called? Illusion. And I'm gonna put that on the outer corner, like the outer V. It's a good transition color before we go in with the much darker shade. Okay, like that. And then in the Cutie the Cutie Analog palette, I'm going to take this shade right here, which is like a very dark brown, and we're gonna put that on the lash line going up and creating like a little bit of a smoky liner. Now I'm going to take something that is a little bit more rounded and a little bit denser as well, and we're gonna make that line very precise. I think that's all I'm gonna do for like the mattes and stuff, but as a last step, I'm going to use this shade Overexposed, which is my favorite shade in this palette, and we're gonna put that just all over the inner part of the lid. Then I'm gonna take my Individuals palette, and I'm going to take, difficult decision, not gonna lie, I feel like a pink would be really pretty, or like ooh, a blue in the inner corner together with this fiery red. I've just made my decision. So I think I'm gonna use this shade right here, the Turbo Pigment in the shade Turbo Mist. Very happy with that. Bam! I decided not to use my split liner because I feel like a liner isn't really necessary with like the smokiness that we have going on. So what I'm gonna do now is apply my Rare Beauty mascara. Okay, so I made my decision on my lips colors. So these are the colors that we're gonna go with. They're gonna be kind of like warm toned browns, not gonna lie. So I went with the Nabla Close Up Lip Shaper in the shade #2, which is called Classic. If you watch my channel, you know. And then for the lipstick, this is one that I haven't used in a long time. This is the Lisa Eldridge Velvet Fawn Lipstick, Tower 28 Milky Lip Jelly in the shade Cashew. I think this will suit this look perfectly. The lip liner complements like the brownie and just like the overall earthy tones and those fiery colors, and it's kind of cool tone at the same time, so it's a very neutral shade. And then Velvet Fawn is like a beautiful nude, but a little bit too much on the mauve side, so I wanted to kind of counteract that with the Tower 28 gloss, which is going to look a little bit more warm, and the combo is going to be amazing. So this is the combination of the lip colors that I decided to go with. I'm very happy that I did, because it's been a while since I used the Lisa Eldridge Velvet Fawn one, and it reminded me of how great of a nude it is. It's a very lip, you know. I feel very lippy right now. So this is the finished look. I really like everything together. I love the blush mainly. I think it's such a complementary shade to like the eyeshadow that we have going on. I already loved the look before I put on the inner corner, but with the inner corner I feel like it just elevated it even more. It's such a beautiful like combination of like fire and ice, obviously, of orange and like cool tone blue. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I really hope you enjoyed it as well. And if you did, please leave a like or a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more looks like these, more Shop My Stashes, more project 10 products just using your existing makeup collection, and every once in a while we have a new makeup product. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!